Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, some residents in Village got a big surprise after taking out the trash.
A little over a year, and we have not had another instance like this.
Find out the damage that was done to their room.
Also, hurricanes have ravaged parts of the U.S. Find out what you can do to help those in need.
And President Leahy is retiring in June. Q30 News sat down in an exclusive interview to discuss his legacy.
All this and more coming up tonight on the Q30 Newscast.
Hello and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Janelle Cadigan.
And I'm Aya Galal.
We begin tonight with some breaking news. The SGA election results are in. For our class president of 2021 is Sophia Marshall, and the class vice president is going to be Olamide Gibidosho.
And we have 7 class representatives. They are Giselle S. Vito, Glenn Adams, Samantha Tran, Dan French, Jamie and John Baptiste, Lily Gata, Brianna Wyman. Congratulations to those representatives and students.
And now we're going to get over to a developing story regarding a facility up on the York Hill campus. We're going to get right over to Q30 sports reporter Chris Dacey. Chris, what can you tell us?
Janelle, Aya, thank you. Yes, Q30 is following a developing story regarding a potential name change of the building that houses the Quinnipiac hockey, basketball, and acrobatics and tumbling team. In an email sent to students about ticket sales, the QU box office referenced the name of the Quinnipiac Sports Center instead of the TD Bank Sports Center. Ever since the building's opening in 2007, TD Bank has been the sponsor. TD Bank is also the flagship bank on campus. When Quinnipiac resurfaced the basketball court and the ice rink, it removed the TD Bank logo. As of right now, the lettering on the outside still reads TD Bank Sports Center. Continue to stay with Q30 for updates. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Chris. We'll continue to follow this story. Down the road from the York Hill campus on Sherman Avenue is a new theater arts center. Drama classes will no longer take place on the Mount Carmel campus. While the new location is more spacious, many students have complained about getting to the building on 515 Sherman Avenue. It's particularly difficult for students that do not have a car. While there are designated shuttles for the commute to and from the Theater Arts Center, students have complained that the shuttles are not running on time. And speaking of changes to the campus, what used to be the Black Box Theater on the Mount Carmel campus is now the Center for Religion. The area includes a large chapel for religious services and is intended to bring individuals of different faiths together. There has been some controversy about the large dedicated Catholic space, but Father Jordan says the building is open to students of all faiths. Hey there, Delilah.
Religious voices to academic conversations, and it only works when we can make them as broad as possible.
Hey there, Delilah. Guess who's going to be on campus this weekend? That's right, the Plain White Tees are performing at Fall Fest in just 3 short days, with opener The Ready Set. The concert will be in South Law and is free to undergraduate students as long as they show a cue card at the gate. Stage Chair Joe Mania expects a large turnout. With the Plain White Tees and The Ready Set, the concert starts at 12:30. Chartwell's has answered the requests of sushi lovers on campus. Revolution Sushi and Noodle is officially open on the 2nd floor of the Student Center. It's located in what used to be the Faculty Commons. Though the sushi is a bit pricey, lines have been long and reviews have been positive. We caught up with the student who was the first person to try the food from the new restaurant on campus. Here's what she said.
We camped out originally because we were so excited that we were finally going to have sushi at college, and not a lot of colleges have sushi. So we were like, oh my gosh, we have to be the first ones to have it.
The annual Relay for Life charity event for the American Cancer Society took place this past weekend. Christina Vitas talked to those who volunteered.
Over 400 registered participants took to Quinnipiac's Quad Saturday to participate in this year's Relay for Life. Since Relay's birth in 1985, communities all over the world have come together to raise money for the American Cancer Society.
We actually started planning this event last year, so it's been a long time coming. We did a lot over the summer. It was a lot of hard work, teamwork, and a lot of it is due to our very dedicated co-chairs who kept everything going right on track.
Plenty of activities, ceremonies, contests, and more took place throughout the 8-hour Relay for Life. Various organizations on campus came out to show their support, and some even hosted events throughout the day. Fraternity Phi Gamma Delta cut hair that was donated to Pantene Beautiful Lengths, which makes wigs for cancer patients.
So we had contacted someone over the summer and they asked if we wanted to help out, and we obviously said yes because we knew that was for a great cause. And some of the things we did last spring, we also had our own organization that helped fight cancer, so this was like hit home for us because we wanted to do something for that. And standing here with everyone, it was a great feeling because you know that hair is going to such a great cause and helping out so many people, so it's great.
This year, Relay for Life raised over $30,000 towards American Cancer Society, and those involved look to increase their total donation with each year to come. The 2017 Relay for Life went off without a hitch, with plenty of students and families showing their support, proving that if cancer never sleeps, why should we? With Q30 News, I'm Christina Vitas.
2017 marked 16 years since the tragic terrorist attacks on 9/11. On Monday, a memorial was held outside the Student Center to honor the victims and families affected. Members of the university community gathered for a moment of remembrance at 8:46 a.m. It was led by members of the Student Veterans Organization on campus. Starting this semester, there's a new way to sign up for free fitness classes. In the past, sign-ups went through the Mind Body website, but Athletics and Recreation has switched over to a new website called I Am Leagues. You can click on the Athletics tab at the top of the page and see the classes that are available. Classes are free on all 3 campuses to current students and faculty.
With all the technology students have in the palms of their hands, it's no wonder some residents in Village caught a wild scene on camera. Carrie Golden has the story.
It was a wild, long weekend for the residents of Village, where they had an unlikely visitor after taking out the trash.
So our trash was basically sitting right there, and we just saw a raccoon. We opened the door, and the raccoon just came right in.
The raccoon incident happened right here outside of Village 673, where the animal came in through those grates down into the students' room, where it eventually tried to find another way out, being this window right here. It got stuck, and animal control and public safety had to come and cut a hole in the screen in order for the animal to be set free.
It went in my closet, it went all over our beds, we had to wash everything, so that was kind of gross, but nothing really that bad.
Director of Residential Life, Mark DeVilbus, stressed the importance of a quick and safe response.
Well, our first priority is always student safety. And so we are glad that the gentlemen that were affected by the raccoon that got in at Village last week, they did what we would hope any student would do, which is reach out right away for help.
We really didn't know what to do. We had to, we called public safety, they called Hamden Police, and we didn't know how to get it out, so they had to, there was no animal control on duty actually because it was a holiday, so they just had to cut the screen, and it was kind of crazy, honestly.
DeVilbus said there are a few things students can do to avoid a similar situation in the future.
I think it's important that students not leave entry points open for extended periods of time. So that's like prompting doors, leaving a window screen open, for example, for long periods of time. The other thing that residents can do is keep a clean room. I think animals are attracted to food waste or strong smells, things like that. And so keeping a clean space would lessen the likelihood that an animal would even want to come in.
Reporting from Village, Carrie Golden, Q30 News.
Hurricanes Irma and Harvey have caused much devastation in Florida, the Caribbean, and Texas. With homes destroyed and people displaced, many are wondering how they can help. Here are some tips to keep in mind.
The best advice I can give to students or anyone else looking to respond to the disaster is be aware of who you're donating to. Make sure that the organization is directly responding to the needs of the victims.
Contrucci also says to donate to local organizations.
And fortunately the Northeast was not impacted heavily by those hurricanes.
That's true. We are very grateful for that, and we hope that we will continue to have good weather.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Christina, what can you tell us about the weather these next few days?
Well, Aya, it's a beautiful night here in Hamden, Connecticut. It's about 65 degrees outside with some clouds. But tomorrow, be prepared for some scattered showers, some clouds. But I'll have all that and more a little bit later in the newscast about this weekend and about the upcoming 7-day forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, a roadblock in Hamden's elections, and there's a new store in town.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Whether you're on the quad,
In your room.
or heading to class.
tune in to Q30 News.
For stories by student journalists you can trust.
We are covering the latest here on campus and in surrounding areas.
Get the news you need to know every Wednesday night.
Bobcat Breakdown presented by the Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network.
We are your source for debate.
Did they make the playoffs last year, Tom Jenkins?
When it clicks, it clicks.
We dissect Quinnipiac athletics on a scale you've never seen before.
With Tobia, it almost looks like she's reaching a little bit.
Plus, we bring in the biggest names surrounding college sports.
We are live here at the Times Union Center with Jay Billis.
And of course, some comedy.
But you can only have so much arena food.
I think you're crazy. Bobcat Breakdown.
Tuesdays at 9:30.
In local news, the Democratic primary in Hamden for a district council seat was canceled because of some legal issues. Chris Vega withdrew from the election for undisclosed reasons. According to his Facebook page, his opponent filed a complaint with the State Elections Enforcement Commission in regards to Vega's signatures on his petition. And all of us in Hamden are certainly have our favorites when it comes to dining out, and this week you can get your favorites at a discount. Hamden's Restaurant Week is happening right now. Various restaurants around town, such as Enchiladas and Eli's, are featuring buy one, get one menus, prefix lunch and dinner menus, and other deals through Saturday.
If you've been driving around Hamden, you may have noticed that several roads are being paved. More than 55 roads will be paved during the town's fall 2017 paving program. This means a total of roughly 11.5 miles of roads will be paved or reconstructed during this phase. Some of the roads being paved are Newberry Street, Huntington Circle, and Patterson Road. A new department store just opened its doors in Hamden. Burlington Coat Factory is now open at 2300 Dixwell Avenue. The department store is located next to Walmart in the Hamden Plaza. During the ribbon-cutting ceremony, Burlington Coat Factory gave away gift cards and tote bags. About 25 associates have been hired by the retail store.
All right, we're going to switch gears to the world of entertainment where a new movie crushed box office tickets.
That's right. Krista, what kind of numbers are we looking at?
The horror film shattered the box office, bringing in an estimated $123 million within its opening weekend. Just when you thought you were over your fear of clowns, they decide to make a whole movie about it. Titled It came out this past weekend and is said to be the highest grossing of all the films that have been developed from Stephen King's horror stories. If you are in the mood for a real scare, this might be the film for you. The season finale of Bachelor in Paradise aired this past Monday. The reality show caught headlines this summer at the start of production due to a scandal between two cast members causing a shutdown. The show was able to resume and did have a happy ending for two of the couples by the end of Paradise. During the live finale, Derek Peth got on down one knee to propose to Taylor Nolan. The two developed a relationship during the month-long show. At least through all the drama, one couple seemed to have found their happy ending. And lastly, last night there was a benefit to raise money for the victims of Hurricane Harvey. It was titled Hand in Hand, and celebrities joined CBS to join in on the raising of money. As of last night, they raised $44 million to relieve Hurricane Harvey. That's all I have for this week's entertainment update. I'm Kristen Lane. We'll be back after the break.
before heading to class.
Tune in to Q30 News
For stories by student journalists you can trust.
We are covering the latest here on campus and in surrounding areas. Get the news you need to know every Wednesday night.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning After.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Apple made some huge announcements yesterday that I think a lot of students are going to be happy about. Brenna, what can you tell us?
That's right, Janelle. Apple hosted its annual keynote event this past week. They introduced a number of new products, including the iPhone 8, the iPhone X, and a new Apple Watch. New features for the iPhone 8 include a better camera, wireless charging, and the most durable glass. The iPhone X includes the same features, but is a full glass screen. The most notable feature is the Face ID to unlock your phone password and use Apple Pay. The Series 3 Apple Watch doubles as a phone. You can call, text, and stream music all from your wrist. But don't think that with all these changes that Apple has lowered its prices. The iPhone X starts at $999 and the iPhone 8 starts at $699. Last week, Equifax announced that over 143 million people lost personal information to hackers. Equifax is a company that figures out credit scores based on information given from banks and credit card companies. Social security numbers, addresses, birthdays, and credit scores were all leaked. The company claims that they have known about this incident since July and are just letting the FBI know now. If you think you've been affected, you might want to freeze your credit. Hurricane Irma ripped through Florida and the Caribbean this past weekend, leaving the area in pieces. The Category 4 hurricane left about 4.4 million Florida residents without power. 2.3 million have gained power back as of today. Florida Power and Light Company says the state of Florida should have power back by September 22nd. The death toll has climbed to 22 in the United States. Irma is the first Category 4 hurricane in Florida since 2004. And speaking of crazy weather, I'm going to send Christina Vitas on with us, who has a weekly weather update. Christina, tell me that this nice weather is here to stay.
This nice weather is here for the night. However, we will have some shaky weather, but it's nothing compared to what Florida has been through, what the Keys have been through, or even Texas.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, so tonight it's a beautiful night. However, tomorrow we have to be mindful of showers and clouds all around. But this weekend is going to be absolutely beautiful. So Bobcats, get ready for Fall Fest. You can break out your shorts. It's going to be beautiful. In Danbury, it's about 79 degrees with clouds. In Hartford, we have some partly cloudy, 81 degrees today. And New Haven, partly cloudy with 76 degrees. Now going to our 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, as I said, we have some clouds. The high is going to be 74 degrees, low of 67. Friday, again, we have those showers sporadic around the day, high of 75, low of 68. And then here's the beautiful weather we've been talking about, high of 79, low of 62 for Saturday. So get ready for Fall Fest. Plain white tees coming your way on campus. Sunday, we have a high of 77 with a low of 61 with some clouds. Monday, same thing, partly cloudy, mid-70s and low of 62. And Tuesday, again, we have some scattered showers, high of 76 and 54 is the low. That was the 7-day forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Alrighty, thank you, Christina. Still ahead on our broadcast tonight, our Q30 News exclusive interview. We'll be right back.
This is Sports Pause.
Are you concerned with the 0-2 start for this team?
right here, top of the circle. Again, rips it past the Jasper's goalie.
What will breaking the record mean for the program himself? I mean, 138 wins.
There's the tough shot. What a nice play by Mikey Dixon.
Just good in transition. Just a really dynamic score he can create for himself.
And now, Emma, it's time for the top 5 plays of the week.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning After.
It's time for our sports update. Chris, what has been going on since we all moved back in?
I'll be back on the desk, guys. Another year. That being said, Quinnipiac athletics are back in full swing. We start off tonight with the women's rugby team. It traveled up to New Hampshire to put a 1-0 record on the line against Dartmouth. Dartmouth posted 15 unanswered points in the first half en route to a 22-17 victory over Quinnipiac. It was the first time the women's rugby team lost to a team not named Central Washington and Carlisle. Let's take a look what was going on the last time the Bobcats lost to another team. As you can see right here, we have a little bit of confusion here. That is the wrong graphic. That is the men's preseason. We're going to continue here. The men's soccer, we're going to continue with the women's soccer here polls. These are the preseason polls. Quinnipiac, you can see there was ranked second. Monmouth was the defending MAC champion. They were ranked first, followed by Ryder, Siena, Marist, Canisius, Manhattan, Fairfield, Niagara, and Iona, and then St. Peter's was ranked 11, not shown here. Let's take a look at the men's standings here, as the men's Quinnipiac soccer team was picked to finish first, followed by the last year's champion Ryder, then Monmouth, Siena, Fairfield, Canisius, Marist, Iona, Manhattan, Niagara, and St. Peter's again at 11th. Now we are going to roll a highlight of a men's soccer game when they traveled up to Brown last weekend. Let's roll that highlight. Men's soccer, we're going to pick action up in the first half here. You're going to see a nice cross, a nice ball in here. Great touch by Brown. He's going to pass it to the open man. Quinnipiac defense in shambles here. Gets past 3 guys. That's just bad defense. Not going to win many games like that. And Quinnipiac just struggling to get chances here on offense. Poor cross right there. And Brown's going to win this one 2-0. And again, for the developing story on the TD Bank Sports Center, we will keep you updated as information comes to us. Be sure to follow us on all media at Q30 Sports and at Q30 Television for the latest. Back to the desk.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Chris. With President Trump announcing that he plans on repealing the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, one Quinnipiac student is fighting back. Jack Onofrio, a junior political science major, wrote an open letter to President Leahy asking him not to remain silent on the issue. Here's what he had to say.
At the end of the day, the DACA recipients and the Quinnipiac students are all Bobcats. We all go to the school together, and we need to look out for our fellow students because we are a community. And to have a community that's not getting support, clear-cut support from the highest levels, it's disappointing, and I'd like to see it changed.
But I'm not sure.
I would count on 2.
And this week, I sat down with President Leahy and asked him about his decision not to sign the statement supporting DACA. Here's what President Leahy had to say.
Obviously there are federal laws and state laws and local laws
I and the university don't have the luxury of disobeying. So, I mean, we can have our own personal views, and that's why you mentioned about political. I really have been very much apolitical in terms of taking any positions on things that I think are either partisan or would potentially put the university in a bad position.
About his accomplishments over the past 30 years, here's what he had to say about that.
I would say, it's not any one thing that I would point to, but I think it's the totality of changes that have occurred at Quinnipiac, and essentially we have transformed, and not I alone, but senior management and a lot of administrators and staff and faculty and students and alumni and board. We've really transformed Quinnipiac from what was a small local little college back then, 30 years ago, with 80% of our students coming from Connecticut, into a major national university today with 10,000 students from literally all over the world, to 7,000 full-time undergraduates and 3,000 graduate students, and a national reputation in many areas, academic and non-academic. So I think it's the totality of all of those things that contributed to that. Hopefully, as others look back and as I look back, that will be what we accomplished in the past 30 plus years.
Watch the rest of our full exclusive interview with President Leahy and find all the stories from tonight's show on our website, Q30TV.com.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Q30 News for more updates throughout the week.
From all of us here at Q30, thank you for watching. We'll see you next Wednesday at 9:30.
Good night.